What's up guys, my name is Provex and today I'm going to be showing you guys the best technique to plasti dip wheel barrels. This video serves as a part 2 to a video where I go over techniques to properly plasti dip the face of wheels. I'll leave a link to that video in the description below. By watching both these videos you should be able to plasti dip any wheels, any color, with a flawless finish. So let's get started. So our first step after we remove the wheels from the car is to wash them. Now for the majority of you guys, a wheel degreaser will be enough to remove any stains or debris from the wheels. But for some of you, the stains might be a little bit tougher to remove, especially on the barrels. It's important that you take your time and remove all the stains and debris, because anything that we leave behind will show right through the plasti dip. Here's a photo of one of my wheels after I cleaned it with just a degreaser. As you can see, there's still a lot of staining on it, but after using a wire brush, a clay bar, and a lot of elbow grease, I was able to get it to look like this. So now that our wheels are cleaned, before we continue on with our technique, I want to show you guys 2 other techniques that I've seen the majority of people use when painting their wheel barrels. So this is one of the techniques I've seen, and it's when the wheel is parallel to the ground. Now this is hard to paint because it's going to be hard to get an even coverage around the whole wheel barrel. And as you're plasti dipping and make your way towards the center of the wheel, you risk hitting the wheel barrel with the can. Now the position of the can is also not optimal because it's parallel to the wheel, which means that the flow of plasti dip might not be even. Now this is the second technique I've seen, and it's when the wheel is perpendicular to the ground. The idea is that as you roll the wheel, you're also painting it. I like this technique better than the first because the can is more upright, which will lead to a more even flow of plasti dip out of the can. However, there's a lot of manipulations to rotate the wheel, which can lead to contamination. So this is the setup for the technique we'll be using in this video. The main feature of it being a motorcycle wheel cleaning stand. This stand is going to allow us to rotate our wheels as we paint it, while remaining stationary. So this wheel stand will first allow us to keep the can in a more upright position, leading to a more even flow of plasti dip out of the can. Secondly, it allows us to control the pace of the rotation of the wheel, which will lead to a more effective and efficient painting process. And lastly, it allows us to transition from our painting station to our drying station more easily. So this is the second part of our setup. It consists of 2 2x4 wooden blocks that hold up the wheel from the ground. You want to space them out so that the wood is only touching the tire. What I recommend you do is take some tape and mark out the position of each wooden block, just in case you kick one out during the process. So with our stations now set up, we're ready to start painting. But before we do, I have 2 quick tips for you guys. The first is to use some tire shine on the outer edge of your tire to prevent the plasti dip from sticking to it. And the second is to get a warm water bucket and place your plasti dip can in there for a few minutes to allow the paint to heat up. This will allow it to better atomize when we spray it. Here's the technique we'll be using to apply all of our coats of plasti dip onto the wheel. We're going to start by taking the wheel from the drying station and carefully placing it onto the wheel cleaning stand. Our first coat is going to be light, and the purpose of it is to create a foundation for the remaining coats of plasti dip to properly adhere to the wheel. Our main focus for each coat is to apply it evenly, and we're going to do this by slowly rotating the wheel while simultaneously spraying from the outside of the wheel towards the spoke and back. Once we finish spraying 1 coat of plasti dip, we're going to carefully take our wheel and move it from our paint station to our drying station. Once we placed our wheel onto the blocks, we're going to retrieve our plasti dip can and complete our coat by spraying the rim of the barrel. Here are some photos of the first coat. Once we allow the plasti dip to fully dry, we're ready to apply the second coat. Now the key to getting a smooth finish with plasti dip is to apply it in thick, wet coats. The way we can ensure this is by making multiple passes over the same area and reducing the pace that we spray the plasti dip out of the can. We're going to be using these techniques for the remaining coats of plasti dip that we apply. In terms of drying time, it's recommended that you wait about 30 minutes in between coats. Now a good indicator to know whether or not you're ready for the next coat is to look at the plasti dip and look for some wet spots. If there are no wet spots, you're ready to move on to the next coat. Depending on the environment and weather of where you live, this can take anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes. If you want to reduce the drying times, what I recommend you guys do is use a heat gun. Here are some photos of the wheel after the second coat. You guys might notice that there's some poor coverage near the area of the lug nut holes, so we're going to pay closer attention to that in the remaining coats. Here's the application of the third coat of plasti dip. The process remained pretty much the same, except this time I focused on getting better coverage near that lug nut area, just like this. Here are some photos of the wheel after the third coat of plasti dip. As you can see, we've improved coverage by the lug nut hole area. You now want to apply a 4th and final coat to the wheels using the same techniques as before. You're going to let the wheels fully dry, and then you can remove the plasti dip from the tires just like this. By using these techniques and a total of 4 coats, not only will you get a durable, smooth finish, but when you go to remove the Plasti dip in the future, it will be an easy process, just like this. Here are photos of the final results. What you can also do is buy some lug nut covers, just like these, in the same color as your Plasti dip, to complete the theme of the wheels. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys have any questions or suggestions for future videos, just leave it in the comment section below, and I'll be sure to answer. This is Brovex, thanks for watching.